So what I want to do is to talk a little bit about the science of self-compassion and some of the myths, So there are some main myths. One is probably the main one is weakness, that self-compassion will make me weak or that it is a weakness. And the literature, which is now like 4,000 articles, and there are like 3 articles coming out, 3 or 4 every single week. It's such a hot subject. Shows, and actually there was a meta-analysis that just came out like last week on coping, and shows basically that people who are high in self-compassion, they cope way better with difficulties, with like chronic pain, with trauma, with divorce, illness, all kinds of things. Basically, self-compassion buffers the impact of negative experience in our lives. That warm embrace allows us to actually be with what's happening, to learn from it, and also to let it go. So self-compassion is not weak. It's actually a powerful factor in emotional resilience. Another concern is that it's selfish. And just as my experience with public speaking, over and over, we see that when self-compassion increases, then compassion for others increases. This is very reliable. Partly, I think, because compassion per se is omnidirectional, It's a state. It's a state of being, and it could even be a personal trait, right? But it doesn't quite have any rigid focus, right? In the same way that physiology doesn't have a rigid focus, If you're angry, you can be angry at yourself or somebody else. But someone's going to get it. Same with compassion, Another concern is this self-pity, that it's related to like rumination and me, and so forth. But people who are high in self-compassion, they actually connect better to others. They have more their troubles in perspective. Another concern is that it's self-indulgent. If I'm self-compassionate, I'm just going to sit around eating bonbons and watching TV. That's not going to happen. If you have a kid who comes home and says, "Oh, mommy, I'd like to have a gallon of chocolate ice cream for dinner," would you say, "I love you, honey, therefore you can have a gallon of chocolate ice cream"? I don't think so. Why would you do that for yourself? So self-compassion is actually what a good friend would do. A good friend would say, "Don't eat a gallon of chocolate ice cream. It's going to make you sick." So people who are high in self-compassion, they actually are not afraid of, and this refers to the myth of motivation. Some people think people high in self-compassion have lower motivation. They're actually more motivated. And they're actually more successful at doing difficult things because they're motivating themselves with encouragement. Like, "You can do it. You're almost there. I believe in you. You got this." Rather than, "You suck. What's the matter with you? Can't you ever get it right?" Imagine how motivating is that? But that's the voice we sometimes have in our heads. Self-compassion motivates with encouragement rather than criticism. This is huge, especially when we're trying to do something tough.